Good morning, traders, and who have joined us. This is Alice Lind. Okay, if you can hear me well, please put pluses so I could see how many of us are here. Okay, let's wait for several more seconds. I wanted to devote today's webinar to some strategy that works, that we can use in order to start trading here. This is one of the oldest, one of the simplest, and so really good working strategy. It is called level-based strategy. And believe me, it's really effective. Let's see how it works and let's see how we can find it, how we can use it. In order to use the level-based strategy, we need chart. As you see, I'm using candlestick chart. You can use it on our platform in Instruments Advanced Charts right here, or you can switch to, let's say, Trading View directly, and there is also charts where you can save the indicators that you like and you are using most. Okay, so here we see the chart for British pound to Japanese yen. It was like recently, several months ago, in December. The time frame is 4 hours, so you can see the movement of the market. So in order to start to draw the trend line, it's usually drawn using several points, 2 or 3, you can use more. So here we have the bottom point. Okay, we will start from here. It's a bit lower. Let's start better from here because the trend looks better from this zone. And let's draw it through several hour candles. So as far as you see, it's uptrend line. So the market is moving up. The British pound is getting more expensive if compared to Japanese yen. Okay, so we see that it's going up and up. Each time the bottom line of each candle is a bit higher than the previous one, and here we can say that the trend is going up. Afterwards we have the opposite picture. We see that the trend is going down, so that's easy. So what we can say from here, that based on that the trend was moving up. Afterwards the direction was changed and it started to move down to this point, and afterwards it also changed the direction. So how can trading on how level-based strategy, how level-based approach can help us to open the trades? First of all, you need to wait till the price reflects from the trend line. Let's say here the price was going up, afterwards it started to fall, and from this point it started to grow again. Of course you don't know, will it change the direction like in this case, or it will go up again, reflect and go up. So the best strategy, the best approach here is to wait till the prices will reflect from the trend line and will go up in this case. So you see that it approached here, reflected, started to go up. It approached here, reflected, started to go up. And each time the same. So the best situation to open the trade is somewhere here, when you see that the trend didn't change its direction, that it's still upward, moving upward, and you're opening the trade and you're making profit on that. The same situation is here. You see that the trend has changed the direction. Here we had the upward trend and here it changed for down trend. And you see that the prices came here. That was the first point on our chart to understand what is the level, the bottom level. It reflected from here and here. So each time the prices started to reflect. So you wait till the price get here and you wait for this situation to open. Also, to open the trade. Also, we can estimate it from the other angle, from the other side. Let's draw our trend line here. So here we had to open the trade for high, and on this situation you can open the trade for down. The price is reflected from here. You need to wait till the next candle appears and you see it's going down, so you open the trade for low. It's here the same situation. It reflected, started to go down. Pretty easy to use. I recommend to use it for beginners, as it doesn't demand a lot of knowledge, a lot of attention to the market, and these patterns you can easily notice. Okay. Besides, there is such one indicator that can help us with that. It's called linear regression. Let's switch it on. Well, basically it helps us to do the same but without drawing any lines. The indicator automatically shows us the minimum levels and the maximum levels from which the price should reflect. Let's see what do we have here. The price approached this level and started to move upward. The same here. You don't need to draw two lines or to estimate it yourself. The indicator does that for you. Well, basically when I trade, I set up the chart for me. Hold on. Without the fill-in, because I'm also using other indicators, combine them. So basically how it can be done. After that, we will open several trades to see how everything works. The best about this system, the best about this approach is that it works really good for all time frames. If you prefer to trade for short time frames, for long time frames, it suits you. Okay, let's switch on linear regression again. Okay, hold on. Okay, Bollinger Bands. Well, in this case it helps you to see the levels that you need, but without filling. So here we have the 4 hours time frame, and besides you can also pay attention to the medium line. Prices are also pretty often reflected from this line. It can be the additional point for you, additional information about to open the trade. If you see, it reflects and also moves the opposite direction. But of course, you need to wait till the next candle appears. Okay, let's switch to shorter time frame, 15 minutes, let's say. So we see that the global time frame for 4 hours shows us that the trend is going down. The same is here on the 15 minutes. It's also going down, but the slope is not that stale. Okay, so let's switch to standard Euro USD. So what do we have here? We see that the trend is moving down for the 15 minutes time frame. So it tells us that we have an opportunity to open the short-term trade for 15 minutes for half an hour. If we will switch to, let's say, 4 hours, the trend is also moving down. But if we will switch to 1 day, it will also show you that the direction is negative for euro. It's going down and down. When you choose, let's say, euro to Japanese yen, I opened a trade today on this asset. We see here that the trend is moving up, right? Here are the lines of upward trend. We can see it also when we switch off the linear regression and this level. So I will delete them. We don't need them anymore right now. Okay, so you can see that the trend was moving up. Afterwards, it moved in the corridor, reflected from upper and lower lines, and the global chart shows us that the prices are moving up, and right now the price is reflected from the lower point of this chart and started to move the opposite direction. Here, if you will switch it off, you will see that you can draw everything yourself if you prefer that. I prefer easier approach. Let's say here the prices. You see that the situation was pretty suitable to open the trade because it broke through the upper line. This time it's not good situation to open. You see the opposite color, it started to move the opposite direction. The trend is going down. And here everything has changed. It started to move up. What we have on the Canadian dollar to CHF, we have here that the prices also moved like it was they were moving down because each down price is a bit lower than the previous one. And after that, we see the change of direction. We see that the trend has changed for upward, and the prices were moving up for a pretty long time. And now we see that the trend can also change, and the prices can also start to move the opposite direction. So let's switch our linear regression. You see here at this point where the prices can reflect. The same situation is here. The trend was moving up, and it's almost these flags that don't let us to see the lower point, but the prices are on its bottom, and there is a potential to open the long-term trade for euro Australian dollar for up, but still we need to wait for the second candle to appear and to show us that the trend that the prices had reflected from this level and started to move the opposite direction. Okay, let's switch to a bit shorter time frames. Choose something more classic, Euro USD. Well, as far as I recall, we have some economical news right now on Euro. Here they are, and soon there will be on British pound. So let's choose something that won't be influenced by the events on the market. USD Canadian dollar. Well, of course, in order to open the trade, you need to search for the good point to enter. There is, if you want to trade only to trade, that won't be any good, because you need to see that the situation is suitable to open the trade. You need to see that you can make money here using this pattern. Let's say right now I wanted to open the trade on Euro Canadian, but there isn't any suitable situation for me to do that, because the trend is going down, but it didn't reflect it, neither reflected from this side, neither from that side. So it means that I should change the time frame, hold on, or to switch to other asset. So the 5 minutes time frame shows us that there is pretty good potential to open the trade for down. As you see, each next peak is a bit lower than the previous one. Well, I prefer not to trade on the short-term trades. But still, let's open. So what do? We switch to our platform. Okay, so here we see the platform, and now we can open the short-term trade for USD Canadian dollar. Let's see if it's still, yes, it's still valid. So USD Canadian dollar 5 minutes time frame 200, that's the minimum I can open, and confirm. So we will see in a couple of minutes how it's gonna work out. As I told you, I prefer not to trade for short-term trades, but still, in order to see how it works, let's do that and search for something else while we can trade. Let's switch to least to 15 minutes. Okay, what do we have here? So here basically the situation is also pretty good to open the term trade for Euro USD 15 minutes. As you see, the prices reflected from the upper side of our trend line and started to move opposite direction. So there is also the point to open the trade, but the prices were influenced by the economical news, so sometimes it causes a bit of chaos on the market. So Euro USD 15 minutes down. Let's open. Okay, we have 11:18. We need to open the trade that will expire at 35 minutes. So let's go. So we have opened for 2 trades, 2 short-term trades based on this approach, and in a couple of minutes we're gonna see how this one work out for us, and this one as well. These 2 I opened earlier. This one was opened in the morning. Those traders who work with me received the information to open this trade. And for gold, it was opened a couple of days ago, and it's gonna expire like in 10 days. So let's switch to see what do we have on gold. The 15 minutes time frame shows us that the trend is going down. So basically it would tell me, Alice, what for you opened the trade. But if we switch for longer time period, we will see that the global trend is going up, and there is a really good potential that the prices for gold will go up as well, because unclear situation on the market in the economical and political life of the world tell us that gold will probably increase its price. Okay, but we won't discuss today our economical calendar, what to do with it, what to do with economical news. We will come back to that next time, or probably the after that. But also I want to point out that you need to pay attention to the economical news. And what's the reason, we will discuss another time. Okay. So this approach also works pretty good for stocks or indices, depending on what asset you are using. It can work for commodities as well. A lot of my traders came from forex market, and they prefer to trade on currencies, ignoring stocks, ignoring indices. But sometimes for the beginner, it can be a way out, because it's much easier to predict the movement of the stocks, of the indices. They are moving, not there isn't any such high volatility for these assets as for currency. Of course, they don't work like 24 hours, but still, when you have the suitable situation to open the trade, why not? So you see that we have pretty much of stocks among the assets that we have in our company, and to choose them, you see which one are available right now, where you can trade. Of course, right now the European market is opened, so you can trade on the European stocks, such as Chinese, American. They will be opened like after 4:30 European time, GMT +2. So we see here stocks. Also the indices. Also, that's pretty interesting to trade on them, because when the general situation in some, let's say, European Union is not clear, or it's that clear that you see that the, let's say, Germany had shown today really bad results for their GDP, and it tells us that there is pretty good potential for DAX, European index, to fall. So why not to open the trade on that, to make some money on that? Let's see what DAX shows us. Well, pretty not clear. It was growing. Afterwards, it showed the opposite direction, and right now it's not clear. Okay. The trade expired out of money. Well, that was easy to predict. As I told you, I don't like trading on the short terms trades, because in these ranges the market looks like chaos for me. I prefer to make money. So in this case, we need to open the same trade, the same direction, but with the coefficient 2.5. So we will open for 5 minutes, please. Okay. The trading system that you've got, it's basically, it helps you to understand what to do in every market situation. So if you are using some approach to trading, it should be used. If your system, your approach tells you that there is a good time to open the trade, you should open the trade. Because if you ignore some of the signals, if you choose this in this situation I will trade, in that situation I won't trade, you cannot tell if your strategy, if your approach to trading is working. Because you just omit some trades, you omit some results to see how everything works, and you cannot be sure if your system works. So each time when I see the situation is suitable for me to open the trade, the market reflected from the bottom line of my trend. So I open the trade. I don't omit trades, because I came here to make money, as I'm sure all of you. So let's wait for 4 more minutes in order to see what results we've got. Besides, we can see what's going on here. The long-term time frames, we for 4 hours, we see that the price was going down. Now it changed the direction, but the candle will be closed in 24 minutes. So it's not clear yet. Let's switch to 15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes time frame tells us that the situation is good for us and that the trade should expire in the money in a couple of minutes. For beginners, sometimes it can be difficult to understand what to do, what system to use. Well, I recommend to start from the easiest, not to master a couple of approaches, couple of strategies at the same time, because you can create chaos in your head. And we don't need that. We need to have the set of rules, set of guidance in order to understand what to do in this situation, what to do in that situation. And sometimes it happens that out of 10 trades you have 2 profitable, but still you are in the profit. If your system, your approach to trading works, then you should end the day with the profit. Of course, if you trade more long term, end the week or end the month, but at the end of the month there should be a profit on your account, because what for to trade then? Okay, what do we we've got on Barclays for short time frames? As you see, it's it broke through the upper trend line, but for me that's not good time to open the trade, because I'm not sure whether it will go up, continue growing, or whether it will change the direction. Never forget that it can continue moving up, especially when the prices are influenced by the economical events. Something when something is happening on the market, when something is happening in the world. Well, right now we have such thing as world drew its attention to Trump, because he's going to Japan, he's going to China. I heard that he's going to Russia, and well, his words, his political deeds also influence this market, also influence the prices, and sometimes these prices can change dramatically within short period of time when some person, somebody says something. Especially we drew attention to when heads of banks speak, such as Draghi or Connie. If you know, well, these people, they are really important on the economical situation for England, for European Union, and for us that's the opportunity to make money, to understand based on their words, based on their deeds, and based of course on what they are doing, what they are saying, and how they behave themselves. That's also important. Okay, 2 more seconds. Okay, so as we see, our trade expired in the money, and it brought me profit for the previous trade that I lost. It covered that loss and brought me profit like $180. So you can test this approach, you can test this system and see how it works. For me, I use it. I advise to use it to my traders, those who work with me, and it shows pretty good results. Those who work with me for a pretty long time know that I'm using it, know that I'm giving advices to use this approach. When we work together with my traders, we trade together, and the results are good. So if you have questions concerning this trading system, this approach, you can write them and I will reply. Okay, we've got one question. Is it suitable situation to open the next trade the same on USD Canadian dollar? Let's see the situation. It's hard to say from the start. You need to always to pay attention to what's going on the chart, because sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Well, what we can say from here, you see the prices right now, they are in high volatility. Sometimes you really can open the second trade the same direction in order to make more profit. When it deals with the longest time frames and you see that the situation is suitable, I advise to do that. When it's like shorter, it's hard to say, because right now we have a lot of economical information, economical news on the market, especially the British pound is really volatile, as we see. Probably the information is bad for British pound. Let's see, what do we have here. Okay, yes, it's worse than expected, and it always influences bad. Let's switch to longer time frame. So in this case, what to do? To wait to see what's gonna happen next. If we will see that green candles, that the price is growing, so it will be a good situation to open the trade for high, but we need to wait to see what will happen next. So sometimes it's better to look more. Any more questions? Okay, about the levels of support and resistance. I believe I'm gonna come back to this question a bit later in the next webinar, because we need to do everything gradually. Learn one approach, learn the second approach, and understand which one works for us better. So don't rush anywhere, don't like be hectic. This market likes when you are patient, when you are cold, and when you know what you are doing. So in this Thursday in 6:30, I'm gonna have a trading webinar where we're gonna implement this approach and some other approaches in practice, and you can join it, you can start trading with me, and to see the results, how everything works. Okay, and for today I want to say goodbye to you, and we will meet later. Bye bye. Thank you for your attention.